Welcome to the screencast for the Outcomes Assessment. This screencast will cover the Outcomes Assessment assignment and process, and also the assignments that you'll be doing this week in regards to the Outcomes Assessment. So first of all, Outcomes Assessment is a method for the college to ensure that students are ready to move on to the next level of English, which would be English 102. So we use your writing to determine if you're ready to move on. So the Outcomes Assessment essay is part of our units. It's Unit 4 in our course. So in order to receive a letter grade for the course, you also have to pass Outcomes Assessment. If you pass Outcomes Assessment, and this is where you would submit your Outcomes Assessment essay, you'll receive the grade you earned in the course. If you fail Outcomes Assessment, you'll receive an NC or no credit, which means that you will have to retake the course. It does not affect your GPA, but it could possibly affect your financial aid. So Outcomes Assessment, and this is in a 16-week semester. We're beginning it in week 5. We'll start working on Outcomes Assessment, and then your Outcomes Assessment essay is due online to the website, which I'll show you in a few minutes, by Monday of week 8. So all students in English 015, 090, and 101 participate in Outcomes Assessment. You do have to turn in your portfolio in order to participate in Outcomes Assessment. If you do not include your portfolio, you will not be able to participate. So you are assigned an Outcomes Assessment essay, which I'll discuss in a few minutes. And again, it's the 4th essay of our semester. If you pass if the essay passes the process, then you receive the grade you earned for the course. So the topic changes each semester, and I will discuss in more detail the essay that you'll be using in a few minutes, or the essay topic you'll be using. The essay does need to be 4 pages, and that is a requirement. Okay, so how do you decide if the essay passes? So you'll not only receive a grade on the essay from me as part of your grade for the course, but you'll submit your essay to an online website, and it will be anonymously reviewed by other English instructors. I also have to make a recommendation based on your current grade as to whether or not you are passing or not passing. So if you have a passing grade at the time of Outcomes Assessment, then I will recommend a pass for you. If you do not have a passing grade, I will recommend a no pass. So if I recommend a pass, one other instructor has to agree with me and you pass. If I recommend a pass and 2 instructors decide that your essay is a no pass, then you would go to portfolio review. So like I mentioned, other instructors teaching the same course are going to be anonymously reading your essay, so it's a blind reading. So some reasons that people fail Outcomes Assessment is because their essay is too short, it doesn't meet that 4-page requirement. If you don't address the prompt, it won't pass. Or if you're missing a thesis or your essay doesn't kind of go together, then you could possibly fail as well. So if you fail Outcomes Assessment, meaning your essay does not pass the process, then your portfolio will go to what's called portfolio review, and the English instructors will review your portfolio to determine if you passed. And again, it's the same type of process as the Outcomes Assessment, where I would recommend a pass or no pass, and then the readers would read it and just determine. So what goes in the full portfolio would be all of your drafts plus final copies of your essay. So during the course, we would complete a first and second draft, and then in your final portfolio, you're going to clean up those drafts, or that draft, one more time and submit a final draft. So you're going to submit all of those copies. And for the online students, I will actually print those, and you'll just submit your final copies to me at the end of the semester. So through the course, I will be preparing you for Outcomes Assessment, so don't panic. What we do during the course is going to make this process a little easier for you. And of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, so now we're going to discuss the Outcomes Assessment essay. So this document contains information on how to actually create the essay. So read through this for more details. I just want to hit on the high points of this essay instruction. So it's going to be 4 pages, double spaced. You do need to include a works cited page. You need to follow MLA format. I will be giving you a code, which will be your anonymous name. So when you receive that, you'll plug that into your essay for when you submit to the online website. And here's an example of what your heading should look like in MLA format. They also have a checklist for what you should be using in your essay. So again, it explains the process, which I've already explained in the portfolio, so I'm going to skim through that. Here's a list of all the course outcomes and expanded definitions. So this is what we're looking for when we're trying to decide if you pass the course. Okay, so your OA essay must include a bibliography or works cited page in addition to 4 pages of text. So you need to have 4 pages of actual essay and then your works cited at the end. You have to have 6 in-text citations, and those in-text citations should be a mixture of summary, paraphrase, and direct quotation. So you can't have all direct quotes. You need to have a mixture of those. And you need to cite at least 2 different sources. And the sources that you'll use for this outcomes assessment essay are assigned. Here's the instructions for submitting the essay online, and you can review that at your own leisure. So let's talk about the prompt. Okay, so the prompt for this essay is going to be an argument essay. So similar to the researched argument essay that you wrote for Unit 3. So you're going to read a series of articles and participate in discussions. You're also going to do an annotated bibliography for this assignment, which will really help you to get to know the sources and be able to implement them and use them in your assignment. Your audience is academic, so you're trying to persuade either the teachers and fellow students. So you're going to write an essay in which you make a case for why the internet and/or social media helps or hinders human connection. So the essay you write needs to address this prompt. In addition to addressing that prompt, you need to focus your essay on one type of community. So you could choose educational, activist, or social community. And you'll notice in the articles that you read that they all focus on one type of community. You need to make sure that you have a clear thesis and that it is connecting to these ideas. So you can review the rest of this information on your own, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview and then I will explain the assignments. Here's a list of the readings. These are all embedded in our course, so you can get them there. So to get you started on the outcomes assessment essay, you're going to do a series of assignments. This week we'll be beginning with 3 assignments. You will be creating a wiki with your group, brainstorming ideas for this assignment. So I included in here some of the items that are required for the assignment, so that should be helpful to you as you're creating this. You should come up with at least 3 potential topics and post those to the wikis. And again, this is going to be a group wiki, just like the other wikis you've done in class. The rubric's pretty simple. If you have 3 ideas or topics, you'll earn 5 points, 2 earns you 3, and 1 earns you 1. The next assignment you'll do for the outcomes assessment this week is a summary and paraphrase wiki. As I mentioned earlier, the outcomes assessment essay requires that you include at least 6 in-text citations from at least 2 of the required sources. So this assignment is the same as the Unit 3 summary assignment, but with this assignment you'll be prepared to create your annotated bibliography, which is due next week. So for this wiki, you're going to find 3 sources, or actually use 3 sources from the assignment and provide MLA citations in text and full reference for each of the 3 sources and a summary or paraphrase of each source. So choose sources that you see fitting into your argument. So the sources that we have assigned to you for this assignment vary in their focus and the audience. So make sure that you are picking ones that go together with your essay. So you do not need to use all of the sources in your essay, but you will be completing an annotated bibliography in at least 6 of the assigned readings. So I would recommend that you choose ones again that go with the with the way you're heading in your paper. So here is some instructions for how to do an effective summary or paraphrase. So you're going to summarize the source and incorporate a quote in a paragraph. And you're going to follow these steps for your assignment. So for each of these sources, you should complete this. If you complete this for those 3 sources, you can easily include those in your annotated bibliography, and then you will just need to do 3 additional. So it's kind of to make your workload a little less. And then I have an example of what this should look like. And the rubric is listed here for this assignment as well. The final assignment this week for the outcomes assessment is your working outline. So the purpose of this is to help you with the organization of your essay, and when you finish this, you can also go back and add in possible sources that tie into each point. So you're going to submit a working outline of your essay, and your outline should include the following. You should have an introduction that includes some ideas for possible introductions, and also I want to see a clear thesis statement in your working outline. Your body should also include any main points which would be addressed in your thesis, and then also if you want, you can include any possible sources that would back up your argument for each point. And finally, your working outline should show a conclusion where you would tie together your essay and restate your thesis. And then on page 2 is the rubric for this assignment, and again, this is a fairly simple rubric. So this concludes our screencast on outcomes assessment. I hope that these assignments help you to write an effective outcomes assessment essay. If you have any questions, please either post them to the Ask the Instructor discussion board, or of course you can always send me an email. Good luck, and thanks for watching the screencast.